Harimi, harimi, al tirai, harimi, al tirai. Imri le'arei Yehuda, hinei Elokeichem. Harimi, harimi, al tirai.
Hello, we're continuing Derech Hashem, and we are going today to conclude with the chapter 8 of section Dalet of section 4. So we are on Chelik Dalet, Perek Ches Oz Vav, which is section 4, chapter 8, number 6, which is page 662 in the Name and Edition, which, if you don't have it already, I highly recommend it. And today we're going to be learning about the Torah reading. We have every Monday, Thursday, Shabbos morning, and Shabbos afternoon, we read the Torah publicly, and also we read the Torah on holidays. So the Ramchal is going to tell us why we do that. V'hinei, tzarech sheteida, behold, you have to know, sheminat tikunim hagadolim shesidju hanavim liYisrael, one of the great rectifications that the prophets made for the Jewish people, ha'inyan hakriya b'Torah, is the reading of the Torah. V'zen nechlal b'shtei bechinos, so the prophets instituted that we read the Torah publicly. Ha'achas kriyas sefer Torah al seder atumo, we read the Torah to completion in one cycle, v'chozer chalil al derech zeh, and we read it again and again. Right? Every Shabbos morning we read one parsha, usually, and we finish the entire Torah once a year on Simchas Torah. So that was started by the prophets. The Hashenis, in the second public Torah reading, Kriyas Parshas Miyuchadas B'Zmanim Miyuchadim, we read the specific parshios of the Torah on the specific times of the year. So on Pesach we read the Torah readings relevant to Pesach, on Sukkot, and so forth on all the holidays. V'zeh ki hinei Sefer Torah hu klal ma shenimsar lanu mimenu yizbarach liyoseinu hogen bo. The Torah was given to us by Hashem to read. By reading the Torah, we draw down a certain spiritual light from Hashem. Like we mentioned in the first section of Derech Hashem, also in this section, in the second chapter, in order that we should always be receiving this spiritual light, this godly light, this holiness, all the time, the prophets instituted that we should be constantly reading the Torah in public. And this is besides the individual Torah reading that we have. We all have a mitzvah to study Torah individually, but in addition to that, the prophets instituted that we constantly read the Torah and constantly go over it over and over again every year to finish it, so that we are constantly having that spiritual light coming down from Hashem. V'hinei al yedei hakriya hatmidis hazos, through this constant reading, masmid banawar kedusha hazos, we constantly have this holiness. V'gam bezmanam hamiyuchadim k'fi inyanim, and also during the specific times of the year. Roy shenikra haparshios hanogim li'inyanim haim, it's fitting to read the parts of the Torah that have to do with those times of the year. L'hachzik ha'ar sayam, to strengthen the spiritual light on those days, through the strength of Torah, which is the strongest force that we have. We've mentioned many times that on each Jewish holiday there's a specific spiritual energy that comes into the world that has to do with that holiday, and we can tap into that spiritual energy on that specific holiday. So the Ramchal is adding here that by reading the Torah portion specifically relevant to that holiday, we strengthen the holiness and the spiritual energy that's coming through that holiday. And with that, we finished chapter 8 of section 4, and we have one more chapter to do before we finish Derech Hashem. It's been a couple of years. Okay, wishing everyone a good day.